The rest of the world laughed when the United States claimed they were going to win the World Cup.
Might still be! USA 2, Australia 0.
But right now, those same footballing giants are absolutely terrified. For decades, European and South American powerhouse countries treated American soccer like a sideshow, a minor league project that would never truly threaten the elite. But the rules of the game have completely changed, and the ongoing World Cup has officially turned America into the absolute center of the footballing world. This is the biggest, most chaotic, and most heavily anticipated tournament in human history, with 48 teams, 3 host nations, and matches spread across an entire continent. Having home turf advantage was supposed to be a nice marketing opportunity for the hosts, but instead, Mauricio Pochettino has built an absolute monster of a team that is systematically dismantling their opposition. They are not just winning matches, they are putting on an absolute masterclass in tactical dominance. And suddenly, the dream of an American World Cup victory is no longer a punchline. It is a very real, very dangerous possibility. Let's look at how this dream started. The opening game against Paraguay was nothing short of an absolute madhouse. More than 70,000 screaming fans packed into the stadium, creating a wall of sound that would intimidate any team in the world. The Americans did not just walk onto the pitch, they exploded onto it. Their aggressive, relentless high press forced an early own goal from a panicked Paraguay defense, giving the home nation a dream start that sent the entire stadium into absolute hysterics. Even when Paraguay managed to scrape a goal back in the second half, the Americans never once looked rattled or out of control. They calmly dictated the tempo, held onto possession, and waited for the perfect moment to kill the game off. And that moment arrived deep into stoppage time. Giovani Reyna picked up the ball, looked up, and unleashed a moment of pure magic, curling a brilliant trivela right into the far corner of the net to seal a massive 4-1 victory. It was the exact statement performance the fans had been begging to see for years. But the real test came just a week later in Seattle when the Americans took on Australia. The big storyline heading into this match was the absence of Christian Pulisic. In previous years, losing their talisman would have spelled disaster for the US team. But instead of panicking, Mauricio Pochettino showed why he is paid the big bucks. He completely adjusted the attacking shape, bringing Ricardo Pepi into the starting lineup to play alongside Folarin Balogun. The two forwards rotated constantly, switching positions and dragging the Australian defenders all over the pitch until they had no idea who they were supposed to be marking. The tactical masterclass paid off almost immediately. Balogun made a dangerous driving run down the left wing and whipped in a vicious cross that forced yet another defensive error and an own goal. Right before halftime, 21-year-old sensation Alex Freeman reacted quickest to a deflected shot, heading the ball home to score his first ever World Cup goal and double the lead. By the final whistle, the US had locked up a comfortable 2-0 win and booked their ticket to the knockout stages, proving to the world that this squad is far more than just a one-man show. To understand exactly why this current run is so historic, we have to compare it to the greatest moments in American soccer history. The most obvious comparison is the legendary 1930 World Cup in Uruguay. That tournament remains the absolute gold standard for the US team, who marched all the way to the semi-finals and finished third. Back then, they opened up with back-to-back 3-0 victories over Belgium and Paraguay, led by the iconic Bert Patenaude, who scored the very first hat-trick in World Cup history. For nearly a century, no other American generation could match that level of raw authority. That is why these wins over Paraguay and Australia are so incredibly massive. It ended a 96-year wait for an American team to win their opening 2 matches at a World Cup. Folarin Balogun also joined the history books by becoming the first American player since Patenaude to score multiple goals in a single World Cup match. Then we have the 1994 World Cup, which was the first time the United States hosted the tournament. That squad was not filled with high-priced European superstars playing for Champions League clubs. Most of them were college players and guys from smaller leagues, but they played with an unbelievable amount of heart. Their legendary victory over Colombia is still talked about today as one of the defining moments of the sport in America. But while that 1994 team succeeded by sitting deep, staying compact, and relying heavily on the counterattack, Pochettino's squad plays with a completely different level of ambition. They want to control the game. They want the ball, they want to press you high up the pitch, and they want to dictate exactly how the 90 minutes will play out. We also cannot forget the famous 2002 squad under Bruce Arena. They shocked Portugal, defeated arch-rivals Mexico in the round of 16, and pushed Germany to the absolute limit in the quarterfinals. That team was led by the brilliant Giovani Reyna, who is one of the most gifted midfielders the country had ever produced. Fast forward to today, and there is a beautiful, poetic connection to that legendary run. Claudio's son, Giovani Reyna, is now a crucial piece of this national team. But unlike his father, who had to carry the entire creative weight of the midfield on his shoulders, Gio often starts matches on the bench. That is not a knock on his talent, because we all know Gio is a world-class playmaker. Instead, it is proof of just how deep this player pool has become. When you can afford to use a player of Reyna's technical genius as an impact sub, you know you are dealing with an elite-level squad. This depth is exactly what separates this team from the one we saw at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. That side was incredibly young and athletic, but they lacked tactical maturity. When they faced top-tier opposition like the Netherlands in the round of 16, they simply ran out of ideas. The Dutch easily bypassed their high press and ran away with a comfortable 3-1 win. Pochettino has taken that same raw athleticism and injected it with a heavy dose of European tactical sophistication. They can press, they can drop into a low block, they can dominate possession, or they can hurt you on the counter. It all depends on the opponent. When Christian Pulisic missed the Australia game, different players stepped up, but the system kept functioning flawlessly. This tactical flexibility may end up being the absolute difference between this generation and the previous American teams that came before it. So, who are the players actually making this dream a reality on the pitch? It all starts with Christian Pulisic, the undisputed face of American soccer. Often called the LeBron James of the sport, Pulisic has carried the hopes of an entire country since he was a teenager. Born in Pennsylvania, his talent was obvious from day one. He caught the eye of Borussia Dortmund scouts as a kid and moved to Germany, where he quickly became one of the most exciting young prospects in Europe. A big money move to Chelsea followed, where he experienced incredible highs, including becoming the first American male to ever play in and win a Champions League final. His move to Italian giants AC Milan was exactly what he needed to revitalize his career. In Italy, playing with absolute freedom and confidence, he has put up the best numbers of his career and established himself as one of the most dangerous wingers in Europe. Then you have Folarin Balogun, whose journey to the national team is one of the most fascinating stories in modern football. Born in Brooklyn to Nigerian parents, his mother only gave birth in the United States because she was unable to fly back to England late in her pregnancy. Just 2 months later, the family returned to London, where Balogun joined the prestigious Arsenal Academy. After representing England at the youth level, he went on loan to Reims in France and absolutely exploded, scoring 21 goals and becoming one of the most sought-after young strikers in the world. When he officially chose to represent the United States, it changed everything for this attack. He brings a level of movement, pace, and clinical finishing that the US has desperately missed for years, and his performance in this tournament has shown exactly why he is the leader of this front line. But the absolute breakout star of this tournament has to be Alex Freeman. The 21-year-old right-back has gone from a promising young prospect to a genuine global sensation. After coming through the academy at Orlando City, he won the Major League Soccer Young Player of the Year award before earning a big move to Villarreal in Spain. Many fans wondered if moving to La Liga right before a World Cup was too risky, but Freeman has silenced every single critic. Standing at 6'2", he combines incredible size, speed, and technical quality with the kind of tactical versatility that managers dream of. He can play right back, wing back, or even slide into a back three, giving the team an incredible tactical wildcard. Every legendary team needs someone who is willing to get their hands dirty. And for this US team, that man is Tyler Adams. Raised in New York, Adams built his reputation on non-stop running, fierce leadership, and defensive stability. From the Red Bulls to Leipzig, Leeds, and Bournemouth, he has proven himself as an elite ball winner. He is the engine of this team, constantly breaking up opposition attacks, winning second balls, organizing the press, and protecting the back four with absolute passion. Right alongside him is Weston McKennie, the ultimate Swiss Army knife. Grew up in a military family, McKennie spent several years in Germany before returning to the United States and eventually joining Juventus. McKennie is the heart and soul of the dressing room, a player who can play deep, push forward into the box, win aerial battles, and run for 90 minutes without ever looking tired. Along with Tyler Adams and Malik Tillman, who has quietly developed into a brilliant, calm playmaker. After coming through the Bayern Munich Academy, The United States boasts a midfield that can match up physically and technically with anyone in the world. In defense, the experience of 38-year-old veteran Tim Ream has been absolutely priceless. The Fulham legend might not have the raw speed he once had, but his positioning, composure under pressure, and football intelligence are unmatched. He has been the perfect partner for Chris Richards, the Crystal Palace center-back, who is fresh off helping his club build incredibly strong momentum in England. Richards is dominant in the air, aggressive in one-on-one duels, and extremely comfortable playing the ball out from the back, allowing the US to build structured attacks directly from the defense rather than just hoofing the ball forward. And we cannot forget Sergiño Dest, who brings an injection of pure street football and flair to this side. The Ajax Academy graduate loves taking on defenders, combining in tight spaces, and drifting inside to create overloads. When opponents decide to park the bus and put their entire team behind the ball, Dest's creativity becomes incredibly important, because he has the rare ability to create something out of absolutely nothing. At the center of this entire revolution is Mauricio Pochettino. The former Tottenham, Paris Saint-Germain, and Chelsea manager took this job with a very clear mission: turn a group of talented individuals into a world-class team capable of winning the biggest trophy on earth. Under his guidance, the US has found a perfect balance between high-intensity pressing and tactical flexibility. They are no longer a predictable team that relies on a single game plan. Whether they are playing a 4-2-3-1 or shifting into a back three, the goal remains the same: dominate the space, move the ball with speed, and attack with relentless numbers. The match against Australia proved that his system is bigger than any single player. Even without their captain and superstar Christian Pulisic, the team executed the plan flawlessly. This is the hallmark of a truly great manager and a highly disciplined squad. The 1930 team set the history, the 1994 team captured the imagination of a country, and the 2002 squad proved they could compete with the elite. This modern generation under Pochettino is rewriting the script entirely. They are no longer just happy to host the World Cup. They are looking to conquer it,